Yeah, we got a good video for you folks today. In this video, we're going to be doing Lions versus Packers breakdown. Yeah, it's going to be a really good one here because Lions trying to get to 9-2. Jonah Jackson, we got an update on him, injury, as well as interesting take that I just listened to, Detroit Lions podcast, Chris and Riz. Playoff, percentage from Pride Detroit. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. We are almost at 9,000 subscribers. If you're one of those individuals not there, subscribed yet, smash it. Let's get to 9K. The road is so close to that number here on Lions Nation Unite. So that's what we're trying to get to, and it's always a good thing. Let's get into Jonah Jackson, doubtful to play tomorrow. He is doubtful, and, look, we'll have Sorsdale probably play at that left guard position. Who will continue to get some more reps there, too, for the future of this football team, 5th-round pick. What can he bring to the Lions? And, as he continues to get more reps, next year maybe he gets a starting role or at the least, the first backup role. Jonah Jackson dealing with a bad wrist won't be good to go. Interesting take from Jonah Jackson. Just listen to Riz in the Detroit Lions podcast, who I always say listen to. They're great. They know exactly what they're talking about. They believe that he's not returning back next year. They stated the Lions offered him a reasonable contract, and he's not accepted it. He's looking to get probably top dollar at the guard position in free agency, and that's what he wants. Gets paid like one of the best guards in all of football. So if that's the case, we're going to be dealing with 2 guard situations in the offseason. You could draft one and maybe promote a Sorsdale if he does better, or get one in free agency, or just keep Graham Glasgow for another year, draft a guy. So from their take, they don't believe that Jonah Jackson is coming back in 2024. That's an interesting, he's a really good guard for the Lions, but if he's wanting to get paid as the best guard in all of football, we just can't do that here. Right? He's not the best guard in football. Let's keep that clear. He's really good. To me, he should get paid as a top 10 guard, but due to the injuries as well as the trying to pay him as the best guard in football is a little too rich for me. Now, look, for him, he wants to get paid the most. I have zero problem with that. Of course he wants to. He wants to get the money to secure for the rest of his life as well as his family. So no doubt, Jonah, go get the best that you can get. I will never tell a player to get less than what they want. He deserves it, right? He deserves to get paid well, and if another team's going to pay him as the best guard in football, by all means, go do it. Go do it. I think a lot of us would take the best dollar. If we're trying to get a job, right, you're going to go for the highest paying job here, so that's the situation with Jonah Jackson. But that's something to monitor. That's what they're feeling right now, is that he will not be back. So we'll see. We'll definitely see, but it's trending towards not coming back to the Detroit Lions, and Lions having 2 guard issues heading into 2024, in which they will get fixed. Now, we've been talking about on this channel, my personal channel, the Detroit Lions need to draft a guard in the NFL draft significantly high. Just keep doing that. It's all about the offensive line. The good teams in the NFL this year have really good offensive lines. It's not a coincidence that the Lions are doing well. When you can run the football and protect Jared Goff, the offensive line is a big part of that. You win in the trenches, so continue to build the trenches, never stop. Always build it. Lions are facing the Packers here on Thanksgiving, and the Packers are dealing with a plethora of injuries. They're completely injured. Aaron Jones to just everybody, it seems like this. So they're coming in banged up. The Detroit Lions only have one injury, and that's Jonah Jackson. Keys for the Detroit Lions to win this game. First off, you got to run the football. The Detroit Lions are one of the best run football teams in football. We get the best duo running backs in the NFL. And the Green Bay Packers are one of the absolute worst run defenses in football. Big-time mismatch. And with not a lot of practice, because you just had a game, with injuries and stuff like that, this is a great game to run the football. Hand it off. You don't have to think too much in this game. You don't have to really put up some crazy plays in this game. Just hand the football off let the Lions beat you in the run game. I think that this is what it should be, 100%. You know, running the football solves a lot. First off, it makes your defense rest. It allows you to be more physical. It wears the team down, and it is a soul drainer. It drains souls when you run the football and the team can't stop it. So the defense is just like their soul sucked out because they can't stop it. You know they're going to run it, but you still can't stop it. And then you win the game with long, sustained drives. So I think this game should be really predicated on the run. I'd like to see more run in this game than pass. And look, we all love high-powered offense. We like nice passes. But at the same time, let's just go ahead and run the football, win the game, and then have nice Thanksgiving. And then the players have a little bit, like a half a bye week here to rest up for the following week. So run the football. We can't shoot ourselves in the foot. The Lions, to me, are a superior team against the Green Bay Packers. They're better offense. I think their defense is pretty good, though. I think they got a good defense, especially their front seven is really good as well. But the Lions are better. The Lions are healthy. It's at home on Thanksgiving. Don't shoot yourselves in the foot. That means don't do dumb penalties and don't turn the football over. You do those things, the Lions should win this game, right? We did a lot of that versus the Bears, at least the turnovers. And guess what? We could have lost that game. So I think that the Packers are actually worse than the Bears. I think the Bears are a better football team, even though the record doesn't show it. Lions, just don't shoot yourself in the foot. You should get this win here. Force the Packers to throw the football. You look at Jordan Love. Yes, he's played better in the last 2 weeks, but he's got a 59% completion percentage. That's really low. He's got 13 interceptions to 10 touchdowns. Stop the run, in which Aaron Jones is not playing in this game anyways, and force them to throw the football. That'll give the opportunity for some of our DBs to get some turnovers, and especially with the crowd being hyped, you know it makes the secondary even more hyped for them to get turnovers and give the football back to the Lions offense and beat them in that way. We've done that now against Jordan Love in the first game this year, and we did it last year against Aaron Rodgers. Just continue to do that. I think the Lions should be good in that game. Really good. Really good. I would like to see some pressure from the defensive line for a change. And it's not really a must. It's not really a key to victory because I think the Lions could win the way it's been. But for me, and I think for a lot of fans, we would like to see sacks. We'd like to see the quarterback go down. Okay, this is one of those games where you got to do that. We've been kind of non-existent for a little bit. Let's show some good defensive line and get pressure, sack the quarterback. And lastly, I think for me is just don't let Jordan Love extend the play with his legs, run around like a mobile quarterback. Okay, he's not Justin Fields mobile, but he's still a mobile quarterback. He can still extend the play. We got to make sure that he's not beating us with his legs. Okay, he's got to beat us with his arm. That's the game we should be playing. Is force him to pass it, not run around, extend the play, and do all that type of stuff. If the Lions do that, the Lions should win this football game, and we should go to 9-2 and be a half game out from the number 1 seed, and then we could sit back on Sunday and Friday, because there's a game actually on Friday, and just enjoy the games this weekend to see what turns out with the rest of the teams. You know, rest of the NFC North, as well as, because it was a big game, Chicago and Minnesota Vikings. I tell you what, we need Chicago to win that game. So I know you don't want to root for Chicago, but we need Chicago to beat Minnesota so the Lions can continue to extend that lead. And I think it's very possible. The Chicago Bears really won me over with their play. They were very physical, very strong, and they're playing hard. So I think they can pull a couple upsets here. So we'll watch that. Eagles as well. You know, what's going on there in the San Francisco 49ers, the rest of the NFC. That's what we got to be monitoring. But if it doesn't work out the way we want it to, we're just going to have to be like Thanos, right? Put the glove on and have to do it yourself. So that's what we got to hear. Let's go ahead and talk about the percentages right now of the Detroit Lions making the playoffs. Shout out to Pride of Detroit for putting this on there. Trying to see where desktop capture is not. I have my desktop capture, but it's not shown on here. So instead of me showing it, let me see if I can still do it. There we go. There we go. I got it on here for you guys. And this was posted, and look, we want to monitor this stuff each game, right? Because the Lions are trying to make a run. And right now, the playoff odds for the Detroit Lions just to make the playoffs, that would be a wild card spot, 99.5% chance. That means the Detroit Lions are making the playoffs, especially if you win tomorrow. You're a 9-win football team. You have a winning record, right? You'd be the second team in NFL to have a winning record by this time. First was the Philadelphia Eagles when they got to 9 wins. The Detroit Lions could be on Thursday to get to 9 wins. Winning record. And right now, if you look at the seeding, the number 7 seed right now is by the Vikings, and they got 6 wins. So looking really good for the Detroit Lions to make the playoffs. But that's not where we're just looking at, right? We're trying to win the division here. And the division odds right now is 92.4%. And 94% and 90%. Very good, but guess what? It's not sealed and delivered as of yet. So the Detroit Lions just need to win on Thursday, and the percentage will go up. Just keep winning. But right now, it's looking really good for the Lions to win the division. Awesome. Number 1 seed, it's quite down here. I'm shocked it's this low at 12%, 10%, 17.5%. I'd probably put it like at 30% right now. Look, I think it's between Philadelphia, Detroit, and you could put San Francisco in the mix as well because they're getting better. They're a really good team. I think the Detroit Lions should have the second best odds just because of the games that we have to play. It's an easier schedule compared to the Philadelphia Eagles, but at the same time, they're sitting at 9-1. They're winning these games. So, right now the number 2 seed seems like where the Lions will fit, but the odds are small in this data for the Lions to be the number 1 seed. Then we're at 8%, 7%, and 11% to make the Super Bowl. That's crazy. That's crazy odds. I know that sounds really low, but you got to think about everything that requires to make to a Super Bowl. You got to win, obviously, the rest of here to make the playoffs. Then you got to win your playoff games to make a Super Bowl. So even though it's small percentage, hey, Detroit Lions are in it, right? The Detroit Lions are in the chance to make the Super Bowl, and that's all you can ask for. So shout out to the Detroit Lions for still grinding. It'll continue to go up if the Detroit Lions win. It will continue to go up. Just keep doing it. Lions will win, and those odds will go up. Lastly, I seen Bye Bye Barry last night. Really good documentary. You guys need to check it out. It's about Barry Sanders and the reason why he left the Detroit Lions, and it was cool to see the Detroiters in there. It was cool to see, the fans getting super excited. And it does remind you of, like, right now where the Lions are just super excited. The Lions fans are super excited for the season. And when Barry came in there, it just gave them a boost. Obviously, the greatest running back to ever live. So check Bye Bye Barry out. It's on Prime. Really good documentary, unless you're Scott Mitchell, who apparently just blew up and went crazy. Just go ahead and check it out. Really good documentary, folks. Tomorrow we'll be live for Lions and Packers. With that said, adios.